If the Broncos can establish him early, they'll be good to go. However, Arlington Martin, two really big defensive linemen.
It didn't take long for Paralympian Jim Bob Bazell to know he needs to go to Boston and be there for the injured victims.
And make sure you show up early. We have an eager beaver here already. One Lone Ranger, or Lone Red Raider, I guess, trailer is already here.
Paige Gates of Midland is also safe. She was able to finish as well, and she joins us now live by phone in Boston.
On the north side of the stadium right now, already cars are lined up and down this street.
I'm actually wearing green and a little bit of gold. Please, I hope that no one takes offense. I really did not. I actually matched my shoes.
From the Phyllis Wheatley Middle School, it's just down the road from the AT&T Center where the San Antonio Spurs play.
Jay Tatum, it didn't take long for Paralympian Jim Bob Bazell to know he needs to go to Boston and be there for the injured victims.
Jim Bob Bazell knows what it's like to overcome losing a limb.
I had to go through it myself. I learned everything on my own. It's a new reality. It's a new life.
After the initial shock of what happened in Boston, Jim Bob quickly realized he has a special perspective and story to share with some of the victims.
Being that it's a marathon and it's running, that's my thing. I run. I want them to show them that, hey, I lost my leg and I came back 5 months later and I ran again. And it's possible. I just want to give them the hope that they got it.
So in a couple of weeks, the Paralympic gold medalist is going to Boston to help those who will be forced to start a different life.
Losing a limb it's different with everybody. A lot of people have to learn how to walk. So it's all up to their mindset, and if they're okay with accepting the fact they've lost their limb, they're going to take it on pretty fast.
When it comes down to it, Jim Bob wants these victims to know that this is not an end, it's a new beginning.
I'm hoping to get to them to let them know that their life is not over. Any advice that I can give them for prosthetics, I've got all the information they need. Everything's possible. Put your mind to it.
Jim Bob is taking donations to help him get to Boston and also to give to the families in need. If you want to help out, you can call Jim Bob at 432-258-5673 or email him at jbbiz411@yahoo.com. The information will also be on our website. In the newsroom, I'm Whitney Harding.
So it got us wondering, how is social media changing the recruiting game?
Whitney Harding has the story.
Like most high schoolers, Luke Stice loves social media.
It's something that I've definitely enjoyed doing, especially in the downtown and whatnot.
The thing is, Luke is not like most high schoolers. He has committed to play football at a Division I program, and that can really change things.
You have to educate the kids on, I think, from our end of things while they're still in high school. It comes down more to keeping their personal life private and off of Facebook and those kind of things is something that I think that they need to be aware of.
Social media has quickly become a way for colleges to check in on potential recruits, just like any employer would on prospective employees.
Everybody that I recruit that I'm serious about, I do web searches. So if there's a Facebook account or a Twitter account, then I'll look at it. So it is very important for us to know as much as we can about the people who we are recruiting. We don't want to bring problems to campus if possible.
When it comes to social media, it's not just the things that student athletes post that can be an issue. As the Baylor football Twitter account reminds us, any communication with a prospective student athlete via social media can be considered an NCAA violation.
NCAA expects all of us to have control that is very, very far-reaching, and that includes social networking.
These kids are at a time in their lives when they should be able to make mistakes. But if you want to play sports in college, mistakes are not an option.
That's something that you definitely have to take into consideration. You don't want to go put something on Facebook or tweet something that's going to offend somebody or that a coach is going to see and be like, what kind of kid is this? As Coach Morton knows, they find out about just about everything. So college coaches are no exception to that.
For those who are wondering, Uri Wright committed to play football for Colorado, but his story will forever be a lesson as to what not to do. Whitney Harding, CBS 7 Sports.
What if I told you that being at a football game didn't mean watching the football game? Over the last couple of weeks, I've had the privilege of talking to a local fan who has given me, and I hope gives you, a new perspective on football.
Isela Mejia has always had a curiosity for football.
When I was young or in high school, I went to the football games, and then my husband loves sports. So we introduced our daughter to sports. So we've gone to all of them. We followed them to the playoffs.
She would always come and lay down here on the couch and say, you know, who's winning and this and that. Well, I wanted to know more, you know.
Since she was 28 years old, Isela has had to enjoy the game in a different way.
You probably feel that I can see you. I'm just looking in your direction.
Isela is blind. In 1988, she began to lose her vision and was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa. Football had become a big part of Isela and Neto's marriage, but now it wouldn't be the same.
Football has become a part of her life too, you know, since we met. And I'm glad because, I mean, I don't mind watching football by myself, but when I have the woman in my life sitting next to me and enjoying it just like I do, oh, it's great.
We would go to the game and I depended on him to tell me every little, and I want to know every little detail.
So they had an idea that involved a simple gadget and Isela's new football knowledge.
Has on fires in zone. Caught! Touchdown Midland High, DeAndre Goodley. Yes, sir.
So he's like, you know what? We listen to the radio at home. We listen to the football game at home. You're gonna have one at the game. The radio, I love it because they tell me every little bit of it. I mean, it's like I don't need to see it because I'm visualizing it in my head.
When she's listening to the game and we make a touchdown, you know, she jumps and she cheers.
For Isela, it's the most basic information that is the most crucial.
And they tell me left to right. I mean, I love it when they say the team is going from left to right. So you take for granted, you know. Because if they don't tell me, I'm looking the wrong way. I'm totally looking the wrong way.
Despite the occasional directional hiccup, Isela has found the new perspective has given her and her husband a new love for football.
Yeah, you want to listen to it? Sure. It's just as exciting as when I could see. When I hear on the radio a flag was thrown, sometimes I even know before my husband what the penalty was.
She really gets into the games now. I mean, football, it's become a big part of her. I'm very proud. She's an inspiration. She is an inspiration. I mean, that's the love of my life. Yes, football comes in second.
We're just people also, so just don't forget that.
We'd like to thank Isela and Neto for letting us into their lives. And Jay and Tatum, one quick note. Isela, when she first told me, she was hesitant to the interview, but then she realized she needed to speak out for disabled football fans everywhere. So thank you very much to Isela.
Great.
Marshall, I am coming to you from Maverick Stadium here at University of Texas at Arlington. And tonight, this is where the Odessa High Broncos are going to kick off against Arlington Martin. Now, Odessa High, this weather might actually suit their game because they're going to want to run the football at Arlington Martin. Of course, C.J. Edison coming off a career high and school record performance in the by-district round over in El Paso. So if the Broncos can establish him early, they'll be good to go. Just north of here in Saginaw, Midland Lee, South Lake Carroll, round 2 for this season. Of course, we all remember back in week 1, the Dragons just absolutely took down the Rebels. It wasn't even close. But this Rebels team has really developed since that happened. The defense has gotten a lot better. The run game's gotten a lot better. 2 factors that Coach James Morton says will be huge in this game. Kickoff for Midland Lee South Lake is at 7 o'clock. Kickoff here at Maverick Stadium between Odessa High and Arlington Martin is at 7:30. We will be at both games tonight here in the Metroplex, so make sure you tune in at the 5th quarter at 10:15 for all of those highlights. Reporting in Arlington, I am Whitney Harding. Marshall, back to you.
Welcome back. It was a big day for our high school football teams that have started practice already. The pads got strapped on and the hits began. For the Midland Christian Mustangs, it was also their first practice in Midland. The team has been in Plainview all week for camp. And when it comes to the talk of a three-peat, well, the guys say yes, it's there, but well, it's not really important right now.
You know, players around here, we're not talking about it. We're just talking about each play going hard, and that's how we will three-peat. It's not about, you know, the long-term goals. It's about every day and how you build on that.
It's in our minds, but the biggest thing is take it one step at a time, because once we get to thinking about the state game, you know, that's when you'll slip up, and so we're just going to take it each day.
Down Highway 385 in Crane, head coach Naldo Esparza and the Golden Cranes head into this season with plenty of experience. 16 starters from last year return, including 4 from the massive offensive line, featuring 2 6'5" guards. The offense scored 27 points per game in 2012, and now with a bigger emphasis on running the ball, I guess you would, behind those linemen, Esparza expects even more.
Oh, it's just a huge advantage. You know, our offensive line is nearly all of them are back this year. So, you know, they came to me after last season and they said, Coach, we want to run the football a lot more this year. And so we're going to be a lot more run-oriented this year, which will set up the pass. And I think that'll help us in the long run.
It's always fun getting those run blocks, getting down there and being all nasty and stuff. We enjoy it.
With them blocking, I mean, I feel secure. My center's just as big. I mean, he puts up a good fight, too.
All right, up to the NFL. The Texans had their first preseason game tonight on the road in Minnesota. The defense started things off well. First series for Minnesota, and Christian Pondry is picked off by Shiloh Kao. Then later, the score is tied up at 3, and here they go again. This time, Matt Castle throws an interception to Eddie Pleasant for the Texans. Nice read right there. The Vikings get the first touchdown of the game, but Houston definitely has the most fireworks. TJ Yates just throws it up for rookie wideout DeAndre Hopkins, and well, enough said right there. Houston goes on to win this one 23-17. Now to baseball, the Rangers and Astros squared off in Houston for another round of the Lone Star Showdown. This round, the games are in Houston, and bottom of the second, Jason Castro absolutely smokes this ball to the stands in right field. No question where that one's going to land. A solo shot puts Houston on the board. Then in the fourth, base is juice for Texas. Jeff Baker skies one to center. Nice catch by Brandon Barnes, but Ian Kinsler tags up and comes home. So Texas on the board. To the seventh now, 4-2 game. Astros leading. Jerks and Profar singles to center, bringing home Joey Butler. Texas does tie the game up in the 8th, and in the 8th, Profar does it again, bringing home the go-ahead run. Here is your score going on right now, 7-4, Texas on top. The Cowboys are in Oakland tonight for their second preseason game. This one just went to the half, and Oakland actually got a field goal before halftime, 10-6 right now at the half. Dallas on top. And in minor league baseball, 1-1 tie between Midland and Springfield. That one is in the 9th inning right now.
All right, very good. I think a lot of Dallas fans out there are very happy to see that score.
Yep, it's good so far. Hopefully it can get better.
All these arrests, Whitney, the NFL's ratings continue to climb. Do you think that's why they're taking a soft approach on this?
I think they're taking a soft approach because honestly, they don't know what to do. I mean, this is unprecedented to have 2 guys not only on the same week, but the same day being arrested for murder. And now Aaron Hernandez, he could eventually very soon be arrested for 2 more. I mean, he's already arrested, but he could be indicted for 2 more murders. So it's just kind of an interesting scenario that we haven't experienced before. Now, this is not the first time that an NFL player or players have had issues. I mean, we remember many of the Cowboys from the 90s. There was kind of a stigma. I mean, University of Miami has kind of had a stigma about players having issues before. So I think the ratings continue to climb because the sport is getting extremely popular despite the situations that are going on off the field. Again, I think the NFL does need to be harsher because like the rest of us, if we were to have these issues, we'd probably lose our jobs.